Hi everyone, welcome back to Jesus Nuggets with Miss Gay. And today I want to talk about learning to be content where God has us. And I've dealt with this so much through my life, and I still have problems with it. Maybe I always will. I hope I don't. I hope I get to the point where I do learn to be content exactly where God has me. But years ago, after I retired from the Air Force and started working at this job, I didn't like it. I didn't feel like I was suited for it. And I started applying for other jobs. And nothing panned out, and I kept trying. And so the last job I applied for, right after I applied for it, I heard the Lord say, I want you to learn to be content where I have you. And I knew right then I would not get that job. And I never applied for another job after that. And I told the Lord, I said, okay, Lord, well, you're going to have to help me because I am not content at all where you have me. And through the years, there's been times when that has come to my mind so many times when I've been waiting for something, and I didn't want to go through the journey. I didn't see the beauty of the journey. I just wanted to say, hurry up, Lord, and let's get the show on the road. But no, the Lord always wants us to be content where He has us. And in Philippians 4, I'm going to start at verse 11 and go through verse 13. Says, not that I speak in regard to need, for I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. This is Paul speaking. I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I have learned both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and both to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And this verse, I use that a lot. I come upon it a lot. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me at the gym when I'm working out. But the Lord can give us the strength to be content where He has us. And I've been in a waiting season for a long time. It seems like I'm always in a waiting season. But many times I just have to remind myself, Gay, you need to be content where the Lord has you. And I am beginning to enjoy the journey because there's so many things we can learn from the journey that the Lord wants to teach us in the journey. So don't despise the journey. And again, this is something I have learned. So I'm talking to myself as much as I am anybody else. But I've learned, especially probably the last year or so, has been the most hard-hitting, to where I'm really beginning to see the beauty of the journey when God has us waiting for something, or, whatever. That He's always teaching us something in the journey. There's always things in the journey. While we're waiting, it's not that nothing's happening. We don't know what God's doing, but God's always working. He's never just like, okay, I'm going to take you and I'm going to sit you over here right now because I want you to wait on something, and I'm not going to do anything with you. I've got all these other things to take care of. No, that's not what God does. Like that song says, His eyes on the sparrow. He never takes His eye off of us. He's teaching us, and He's making moves in the background that we don't know anything about. While we look at things and think, oh, nothing's happening, He's making moves. And we're learning things on our journey. It could be, hurts that He wants to heal. It could be people that He wants us to meet, connections He wants us to make that is going to help us when he takes us to where he wants us to be for that season. So learn to be content where you are. And if you're like me and you need help, just ask the Lord, Lord, I need your help to be content where I am. And like I said, for me, I've had to do it all through the years, over and over and over. Lord, help me to be content where you have me. Because it's not easy for me, and I really don't know anyone that it's easy for. I don't know anyone who has mastered being content in where God has them, especially when they're waiting on a promise from him. And that's where I am right now. I'm waiting on some promises from him. And it's been hard, but I have to say, I am doing better in being content where he has me and being thankful for the journey and for the waiting, because I see so many changes that have happened, changes for good. And so, don't forget, in chapter 4 of Philippians, read about that. Read about Paul and him talking about he's learned to be content, because we all know that Paul wrote a good many of the books in the New Testament from prison. So Paul certainly had to learn to be content in where he was. So that's all I have. And until the next time, please go to my channel and like and subscribe so that these words can get out to more people. And you all have a great evening, and sleep well, stay safe, and until the next nugget, keep your eyes on the prize, which is Jesus Christ.